Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Man, does that kitchen suck. We are here to talk about our new game created by JJ Bruno. It is Garbage or Not, where we rank questionable to downright awful fucking people. Joining us for this segment, as always, is Tom Lindemann. How are you?
Well, as an awful person, I think I be speaking up for the awful people on this.
Oh no, we can't excuse you just yet. You're on the awful list. You're not on the garbage list. Garbage day. And we got Steve Unger Jr. I don't know who the senior was, but I'm sure he was a great guy.
He was.
He was very much. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
AJ brought you on. All right.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
The host of Pope on Film and tired of your fucking garbage movies is Bunny Williams. Welcome back.
Hey there, glad to be back.
Him in his top hat too.
Yes.
And Tom
I wasn't
invited
sure
him.
if we were doing video or not, so I'm wearing it right now.
If you want to show it off, be my guest. And we got Gil Palmer. How are you? Gil Palmer. We got, I can never say your fucking name. Tom Lindemann's pal, Gil Palmer, was on the show. How are you?
Hello.
And as always, JJ is here to wreak havoc and strike a hole in one.
Depends on who I strike the hole in.
Oh, I just was waiting for some sex gag. Oh, so welcome all. So we're gonna just circle around and just list some garbage people, and we'll just vote on whether they suck serious ass or just get off scot-free just this once. Jay Leno. For stealing from Letterman. Is he garbage for starting this feud, or is he not? Yeah, the nice guy with the big chin. Yeah.
Jay Leno.
Yes. We're gonna go with all kinds of people, whether they're just shady or shitty or a jerk behind the scenes. Whatever.
I'll go garbage.
My.
What the hell of it?
I love how you were acting like you were asking permission to call him garbage.
You can call garbage about my chin. It's no problem, you know.
Awesome. Oh, so this one's for you, JJ. Johnny Carson.
All right. Johnny Carson.
Notorious.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say he was garbage.
Okay, awesome.
But I have stories about him going after Tom Snyder in a restaurant.
Oh God, the critic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This has got to be like late 1970s, early 1980s. Him and Snyder did not get along because you got to realize Carson had the hour of his show, and then Tom Snyder was on with Tomorrow. This is before Letterman took that 12:30 spot,
which was an interesting show, by the way.
Oh yeah,
by the way,
he was a great interviewer and a great late night talk show. Now let me just ask you a question. What do you he would always ask these questions, but the thing was, Carson didn't like him. No, it was he didn't like him, and he didn't like Merv Griffin because of some, but I always think, Carson, no, he wasn't that much of a jerk off,
I love that's my favorite curse.
Yeah.
Jerk off.
That is wild.
What in the butt?
But when you hear the stories about how him, there's always these stories about, him being like, him being the greatest talk show. So yeah, but I don't think he was that shit. I think there was a lot of things that happened off screen that, we won't know about, since he's dead now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, now, but there were some people he didn't like.
Not unless we want to get into witchcraft, which I don't know.
Yes,
I think we would definitely have to do that on video.
No, well, he didn't like Bob Hope. And that's another name to come back to.
Yes. Thank you.
We'll just drag up Johnny Carson, get him in a chair, and be like, when did you stop beating your wife?
Heard me the divorce paper.
I know. Whoever said that I ever stopped.
We got to have Serpico, Jack Bauer, who's another guy who tortures people. Just all get in a room together and just literally just slug the shit out of him. Is it true you beat your wife? I don't know. Ask me after 5 drinks.
Yeah. Ed. Yeah. Doc. Ed. Doc.
Yeah, I can't put them together.
Yeah.
How about
What do you think, Ed?
So Charlie Rose and Tavis Smiley. This is the PBS hour. Both fired due to sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Are they just creepy old men, or are they?
Once you get into sexual harassment, you're fucking garbage.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And especially Charlie Rose, man, because he always had that like
great interviewer and yet
innocent Southern boy.
Yeah, the Southern boy
professional interviewer kind of vibe. Like, fuck you, you phony ass bastard.
What was so funny
I'd watch him when he had somebody interesting on, which was practically, maybe 2 out of 3 nights.
Oh, and, shit!
It's like tonight we're interviewing a Gore Vidal. Oh, okay, Gore Vidal. Okay. And his, let me ask you a question. When you wrote Caligula, you perk up. Norman,
man,
if you want to hit him,
What's so funny is there were times where he just looked like angry that no one was giving him the answer he was looking for. And I'm like, okay, I thought you were more like James Lipton, where you're just very frustrated at the shit they're cutting for time. It's crazy. But, oh, man, interesting interviews. But, man, there were some times where it's like, I think you're just playing this way safe. And then, and then you hear how he's just stripping for women who don't want him. It's like, what the fuck, dude? So this one's for you, Steve. Ted Nugent.
Wow.
Ooh, you miss out on some good rock and roll, but I mean, garbage is garbage. Is he garbage?
Yeah, I'm gonna say garbage, but
he gave everyone cat scratch fever.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say I don't like some of his tunes, his earlier stuff, but yeah,
going to alt-right conventions.
Yeah, I can't.
Well,
I mean,
what we're not considering is that Ted Nugent can be a vital source of renewable energy. If we shove a windmill up his ass.
I think that's how he got out of the draft.
Yeah, he basically shit his own pants to get out of the draft.
Oh, I thought that was Rush Limbaugh. All right, not bad. Similar avoiding the draft story. Anyway, wow. Okay, that wrote itself. But I'm loving these answers. Okay, so this one is for you, JJ. You bring him up all the time because how can we not? Milton Berle.
Oh God.
Is he garbage or is he just a flawed individual who's kind of funny?
I think. All right. I'm not going to speak. We know about his prodigious equipment that he has.
Stealing jokes and
stealing, but everybody did that back then. But he was. But he's good. I thought I never would see a bad bone in his body, but when he did Saturday Night Live, that's one of the shows they're never going to show ever again, because he did a lot of mugging for the camera. He did a real maudlin version of September Song. And he was treating the cast like it was his show again. He'd been off the air for almost 20 some odd years.
Yeah,
and you got to realize he was on top, and then he was doing like bowling for dollars and shit like that, So,
well, but what did he? Because I just don't know. But what might he have done to be considered garbage?
It's kind of just like snarky to people, and just,
I mean, he was. He always came off like a real big dick.
He probably had a big one.
Well,
And
you know,
and he had one, according to Marilyn Monroe. I think somebody was already saying that.
Jesus.
well,
Yeah.
everybody
Marilyn.
I've heard or read or said he had the he had the biggest one in the business, but he was beaten by Huns Hall from the
Oh,
Bowery
wow.
Boys.
I thought you were going to say Peter North. Okay.
Oh, no.
Well,
There's
to
the
actually
three-
know that, he had the biggest schlong in the business, that's a lot of fucking measuring, isn't it?
That's got
Yeah, well,
basically would have to
supposedly-
mean you're going to the
What do you
same
What do you do?
gym.
Do you send out like little postcards about that? We're gonna be coming
Well,
by to measure
there's-
your dick today.
Well, there's a
RSVD.
There's a story they were in like the sauna or something at the Friars Club.
BYOD, bring your own dick.
Yeah, and somebody said, "Hey Milton, is it true you're the biggest dick in Hollywood?" And the guy sitting next to him, "Just take enough out to win, Milton." And my father told me that, and I heard it on another, I think it was Gilbert Gottfried's podcast. I heard that.
Oh yeah, he's
And
hearing
then
the same shit everyone's been hearing.
But
Oh,
there's
man.
a guy who had a bigger dick than him, and that was Forrest Tucker from F Troop.
Oh my god, Forrest Tucker.
And the story goes is Forrest Tucker was playing golf one time, and he needed to make a putt. He just took it out, hit the ball, and it went in the cup.
Hey-o.
Hey.
Well, if that was true, he would smack himself in the face every time he got a hard on.
Oh.
I'm gonna say that's the first time I ever heard somebody making a putt with wood.
Knock on wood. All right, there you go. I'm loving it. I am loving this. All right, so this one goes to you, Tom. W.C. Fields. I heard he'd like to curb stomp and razzle people and slap women's asses. Yeah.
Well,
And talk like this.
yeah. See? My little chickadee.
in Philadelphia.
That sounds almost like your young, older Groucho impression.
No, that's old talk, you know.
You know what? W.C. Fields, to be honest, I wouldn't necessarily call him a garbage human. There's something about him. I don't know quite what. I could be completely wrong, but he always struck me as somebody
From
who.
what you know, he seems charging. Okay. Well, so JJ brought him up earlier. Bunny, is Bob Hope a piece of work?
Bob Hope. Well, that's kind of hard to answer because, like, I just don't like him.
Okay, then
So, like,
you orbit the round, Steve.
I don't have a single reason. It's just like, fuck that guy.
Okay,
He was
then I'm
never funny.
All right. So
Well,
I'll
you
have
have 200 guys writing for you. You see how funny you are, you know. Because
Do you think he's garbage, JJ?
from what I've heard, he's an asshole. Yeah, boy, I got tired.
Yeah, but it's either jerk or an asshole. So is he a irredeemable asshole or is he garbage?
I all I can say is he told Johnny Carson one of the last nights he was on TV, "I've got a surprise for you." So Carson's like going, "I wonder what what the surprise is." Hope gives him a box, and it's a VCR. All right, that had been opened already. But then here's the other thing. Carson never liked Hope because you know how Carson liked to improv and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hope would come on his show and do his monologue for the audience that he was going to do the next night at one of his NBC specials.
Jeez.
And then not only that, whenever he'd go on the road, away from the wars, yeah, boy, I gotta tell you, he would tell, one of the starlets he had, all right, you gotta sleep with me, or I'll leave you here.
Wow.
Yeah. He had
That's garbage.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
And
rotten.
he wasn't funny. I don't think he was funny at all. I think he was. I mean, when he was in the movies with Bing Crosby, yeah, but he just got
playing off Bing Crosby.
that boy.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
I can't tell if you're doing Foghorn, Leghorn, or Robert Mitchum.
I'm telling you something. That Bing Crosby here, flawed orange.
To stay on Bob Hope for a minute. Yeah, I mean, I'm not that young, but I don't know. I just never felt he was funny, even in the random like movie shots. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
no,
Or even if he randomly showed up on some talk shows, I was like, it's like dad walked into the fucking room.
Dad jokes.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, I was the only time I really liked him in a conversation. He was on Dick Cavett one time, and he talked about the money that he had, from investing in land and stuff like that, and his career, But the rest of the time, like I would, if anybody watched those specials in the '80s and the '80s, it was just like, oh God, Bob.
What's
stop.
the '80s, Jane? I'm just kidding.
He did it.
I've been under a rock. I don't know what year it is.
No. I'm still doing these jokes about, Richard Nixon. Yeah, I gotta tell you. But
can you believe that man? He's so dishonest.
I'm about as honest as just please stop with the jokes. But he did a show called Jokes, where it was all these you got to look up online. It's all these comics that he had on. It was like was it Jan Murray, Groucho Marx, George Burns.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah, and it's him. It's like they come in, they say their lines, and then they split. Like, oh man, please just stop now, please, God damn it, stop. You're done, Bob. Get off.
You're done. Out of here. Okay, so that answers the question.
Yeah, they need to start incorporating that giant hook they'd use to pull people off. Was that like a show or something? They need to start doing that.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I want to see somebody throw a fucking butterfly net over Alex Jones now.
There you go. Garbage.
Big, like literally, just get a big net. That's what I want to see.
No. Get the Monty Python 20-ton weight.
Yeah, or a giant foot stuff down.
Giant foot comes down.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if that would be a good tactic, because I'm pretty sure Alex Jones knows how to defend against fresh fruit. So, like, if you tried to
assuming
sneak
the
up
frogs
with,
haven't
with
turned
an
him gay.
orange or something like that,
Oh my God,
he would know how to handle that situation.
It doesn't matter. The frogs have already turned him gay. Anyway, so Jill.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's still here with us, ladies and gents. Okay, so your bastard to get to rank Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan, I haven't even listened to his podcast. I haven't even really watched him since News Radio. So,
I always tell people that they don't remember him on News Radio. Steve, is he a garbage person?
I don't know. He's got some pretty bad takes on things. But I do like him for the random people he's been on, for like Bernie.
Yeah.
Other people. So I think
I want him to be in a martial arts action movie, but I just think it's such a cop out. He's like, oh, I don't have long days. I'm like, well, what a waste of a talent. Is that just so you can shit talk when you're at UFC and one of them tries to throw you out of the ring?
Well, Steve, you remember the video where the guy went off on his girlfriend and Rogan defended her?
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the video, but I just, I'd gotten
so we'll just say
it.
Crazy, weird, dumb, not garbage. All right, fair enough. It checks out. He's probably high as a kite right now. So, Tom,
Yeah.
this comes straight from South Park. Russell Crowe, garbage or not?
Well, if he's listening, he's not a garbage human because I don't want him to be fighting around the world. But,
And hitting us with a phone.
Otherwise,
I'm Russell Crowe.
Otherwise, yeah, I'd say he was a garbage piece of human.
I say this as a fan of his badass movies because I mean, who else could have played Bud White in L.A. Confidential? Been a gladiator.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I have to disagree. I don't think he's an asshole, to be honest with you.
Just
I think no. I think he's a good individual. I just think he got caught at a bad time. I mean, who hasn't?
Years before we had cell phones taking videos of people.
Yeah, it just gets you sometimes. Like, you're famous and you have a fit, and it's like.
What I want to ask is, who was the phone carrier? Was it AT&T that dropped his call?
Yeah, well, yeah. I kind of understand. You catch somebody at the wrong time, like when I was
With their
young and I
pants
would be
down.
doing something in my room or something like that, and
In
my
your
mom would come
room.
out. Yeah, my mom would come out and ask me to take care of my chores, and I would just clock her in the head with a fucking phone. Just like, wrong time, mom.
Okay. So he's just an asshole. He's not a garbage.
So
All right.
I could kind of see
So
Russell
right, so
Crowe.
right.
All
right.
The orange juice wasn't freshly squeezed. Somebody's getting fucked up.
Oh god, that's great. Okay, so you guys will especially know more about this. Andy Griffith,
No,
Mr. Adulterer, or is he a
No.
garbage? All right.
no.
Hey, he's still America's dad in the 50s. Got it. All right.
No, I'm gonna put on the defense for this. He did a lot. And I know he did fool around. But I mean, but
He
you
was
think
the
about it-
sheriff. I can do what I want.
No, you got to think about it, man. Personally, I think he was a nice guy, and I think he's going to be remembered for that role, Andy Taylor. But
Yeah.
when you think about it, all right, so he did screw around, but who cares? It's done now. I mean, I don't think he was a nice human being, and he was a funny human being too. If you ever heard the record he did, that was what it was called was Football.
Yep, heard that one.
Yeah,
yes.
it's one of the most hilarious monologues. I think it's in like the National
He
Archives. or
does
something
have
like
some great speeches. Yeah.
that,
And he also had the short-lived Salvage television show. Remember that?
Salvage One.
Yeah,
I remember
Salvage
that.
One, yeah.
Salvage One. Yes.
That was a 70s thing, right?
He's in a great
Yep,
70s TV movie where he has to fight Robert Loggia in court. I want Andy Griffith to be my district attorney.
Well, the guy had like what 2 hit shows. He had Andy
And
Griffith
did whatever after that.
show, and then he had
Matlock.
Matlock.
Matlock, yes.
You know.
One hell of a attorney. All right. So Rob Morrow and John Corbett. Yeah, that's right. Both those guys are known for just being really shitty around fans.
That I don't know that much about
All
with
right.
those two.
I'll move on. Adam Sandler. He does garbage movies, but is
No.
he garbage?
No, no,
Okay. All right.
no,
he-
no,
Mel Gibson.
asshole.
Okay, awesome. That's the
An
thing. Most
asshole-
of these guys are
an
going to be
asshole-
assholes. I'm just
An,
like, are
an
they assholes? Or
asshole
are they guys?
chooses to forget what he did.
And fuck Adam Sandler too, by the way.
I'm just interested in the pairing we had. We went from Mel Gibson and we went from Adam Sandler to Mel Gibson. Talk about your 180s.
They should do a shitty
That-
movie together. Let's have it.
What?
maybe Adam Sandler can get Mel Gibson into the next Grown Ups movie,
Oh, wow.
and
He'll
we'll
be the
nuke the whole set from orbit.
There you go. He'll be the racist uncle he invites over to Thanksgiving. Perfect.
I'm gonna say this about Mel Gibson. This is my personal opinion. When he had that giant meltdown with his girlfriend, wife, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just heard what he said. I was like, holy shit. And then did he get pulled over?
Yeah, fucking June.
And he called the cops sugar tits or something like that.
You should have been a stand-up comedian.
I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I loved you in Mad Max. I loved you in Lethal Weapon. You were great in Maverick, And
he also gave us the torture porn known as Passion of the Christ.
All right, I'm gonna give you a quick story about that. That came out. I wanted to go see it. Right, I just wanted to go see it, see what it was like.
Mel Gibson walks on water. No, he doesn't. This is another guy.
No. I literally walked out. I got up and I walked out and I asked for my money back.
Nice. I commend you, sir.
No. The reason why I did that was because it was so brutal. And I don't know why something like he made another movie, Apocalypto.
Yes.
Which was, it did make it. I don't know if it broke even or anything like that, but this, the Passion of the Christ. I mean, I've seen biblical epics about, the man, and this one was just like, it's just like I felt, uncomfortable. If he was trying to do that, hey, he did the job. I mean, but
there's a difference between a Serbian film or Cannibal Holocaust, and then when you do something like this, I'm just like, just no, like, there's so many other ways to show the suffering and everything, but don't torture the audience. Don't do it.
Yeah,
Well, that's what you get when you go for Jesus the Grindhouse years.
Jesus the Grindhouse years. Yes. All right. So Christian Bell. Oh, good. Is he a piece of work or is he garbage?
Who is that? Christian Bale?
Christian Bell. Oh, won't you off the fucking set, you prick?
That's not the whole thing.
Yeah, fuck that guy too.
The roast of Christian
sorry,
Bell.
Man. I'm sorry.
Central.
I understand like the artistic temperament and
He's
all
a
that.
damn fucking good
There's
actor.
no
but
fucking
man,
excuse for that.
Well, that's just it. I blame Christopher Nolan for raising his ego and making him say, "I gotta be Batman on every set." It's like, no, get the fuck out of here. You can be replaced.
Yeah. You remember the first movie he made?
Newsies or no, Henry V.
Empire of the Sun.
Empire of the Sun, right?
Yep.
He's a great
Yes.
kid actor, right?
Yeah.
Then he does Newsies.
Yeah. All these
And
great
then
movies.
I don't remember anything between Newsies and the dark, the Batman series. I don't remember that
Swing
much.
Kids, American Psycho.
Yeah, Swing Kid.
Okay, American Psycho, great movie, right?
The remake of the
Shaft, yes. Yeah, he's the psycho in that. It's great.
The Machinist, was that him?
The Machinist is
The
excellent.
Machinist was amazing. I'm sorry, I'm just like trying to remember, like, jogging my memory. But
American Psycho.
The Furnace, Harsh Times is his taxi driver. That's great. But yeah, I know what you mean. He's a piece of work.
But when he did that rant during the making of the Terminator movie, I just kind of was like, okay, I think this is the Klaus Kinski moment of somebody's career.
Yeah,
when they just fly off the handle on a set.
There's nothing wrong with being a method actor. Is like, but if it were, say, maybe someone like Forrest Whitaker or Ed Harris, they would have just taken the guy on the side and say, "Hey, you're really distracting me right now. No offense." If it was someone like him, it's just like, Jesus, dude, the world is not your oyster. And then he goes and pulls it like a Tommy Wiseau and he like re-edits the movie, and then he's like, "Oh, it sucks." I'm like, well, guess who fucked with it?
Yeah.
You don't get the right to talk shit when you are part of the problem. And it is one of those where it's like, I understand it. It's still inexcusable. It should not happen again.
I think the thing with Christian Bale is, he has kind of wisened up a little bit as he's gotten older.
Yeah.
But
he plays a bunch of fat people in movies.
Yeah,
that's
but
pretty cool.
there are also stories about him being abusive towards his mother and his sister as well. So
yeah,
no, fuck that guy.
I didn't know that. Okay, I heard rumors.
He can also be in the Grown Ups movie.
Funny. We're gonna get a shirt for you that just says "fuck that guy."
Yes. Coming to Fox this fall. F that guy. The Game Show Network is
I'm
never.
confused with shit my father said.
I would love a new version of that. That would be great. So Sean Connery, I like him, but is he garbage for slapping bitches? Yeah.
A woman needs a good slap once in a while.
Needs to
That's
have my
that's
hand
pretty.
up.
Yeah, that's pretty garbagey.
Yeah, that's garbage.
And I think I was reading, like, even on like a newer interview, like 20, like maybe 15, 20 years ago,
Yeah,
I was like Barbara Walters or something kind of asked
that's
him
what it
about
was.
that,
It kept
and he was like
resurfacing.
still like, yeah, you gotta slap a
Yeah,
bitch.
I'd
I'm
slap
like,
the shit out of him again.
Sometimes you gotta
I
slap a
can't.
bitch.
Yeah, that's
Slap
not.
a bitch. I'll take the rapist for 500.
Yeah.
Can you imagine,
But then
can you imagine him
she
being-
just kind of let it
you imagine him being-
roll off, like
Yeah.
she wasn't like, okay, wait a second, let's stop here a second.
Well, he made the
What?
mistake of going on Barbara
Korean slapping
Walters,
bitches.
a quality interviewer. Is like, yeah, you're not gonna get out of this one alive, dude.
If
It
your
ranks up-
flowers on the
if
line,
you were a
you
tree,
see
what kind
I-
of a tree would you be?
What kind of a tree would I be? I'd be a special 00 tree.
And he
I'd be
said
a-
you have to do it to keep a woman in line.
Keep a woman in
So,
line. Yeah.
come on, dude.
Oh,
Dude.
she touched my anal bum cover. I didn't want
I
You
had,
think
I
that
had
was hot? You think that was hot? You should have seen what I did to Alex Trebek's mother.
that. Yeah.
And not only that, I don't think the little people would like it, Darby O'Gill.
Oh my
know?
god.
I slapped the leprechaun because she had it coming to him. Little bastard knew what he was
I'm going
talking
to
about.
sing about slapping his mother.
You think about Connor. Connor was raised in that old school tradition, and that it's kind of like an outdated, thought process.
That's
now.
kind of what I got from it. He did kind of indicate that he grew up in a very strict household. So.
Well, I agree with and Steve, if you want to agree, he exudes manliness, but it's like, yeah,
Toxic
I don't know if it's-
masculinity.
yeah, it's like this thing where you're like, okay, you played James Bond, you played, the guy, but it's like, don't say you agree that a woman should be slapped, because that's just like the worst thing you can say.
Yep.
It was Barbara Walters, right, Steve?
Yeah, it was totally.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
it kept resurfacing, and I remember people would redub it on YouTube. Well, I don't give a fuck.
I was there, Gandalf, 3,000 years ago.
Allegedly,
I was there.
I was there.
Yes, definitely Barbara Walters.
All right. So Tom Cruise, another dude who seems to hate women, recruit him for Scientology. Yeah, he's a piece of shit.
That motherfucker's hurting a lot of people.
Yeah, there's so many people he
Mhm.
tried to recruit as his wife, and then they realized they didn't drink the Kool-Aid and realized, oh, this fucker doesn't even like me. He just wants me to just be his face. And so, yeah,
I
fuck that
blame Tom Cruise for my lack of dating in high school.
Oh, well,
Oh.
true. Yeah, he made prostitution cool. Yeah, that's also pretty fucked
No.
Hmm?
Because of Top Gun,
Oh, yeah,
I did not
trying to
have a
recruit
girlfriend in
everybody.
high school. Steve went to school with me, right?
Mm-hmm. Last I checked.
Steve went to school with me.
Yep.
I post and he's. I think I told you the story, Steve. I don't know.
Steve, you've been quiet. Tell us the story.
No.
Not safe for work.
Let's
Not
just
that it
say, I took a girl out to. It's a complicated story, but I blame Top Gun for the reason why I didn't have a high school love life. That's all I'm
Oh.
saying.
Wow.
So, fuck Tom Cruise, fuck his smile, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
fuck the goddamn movies he's made.
That smile is not a
Is-
regular smile. That is a serial killer smile.
Is that because they wouldn't let you into the danger zone?
Oh,
No. But I
more
have-
like the
I
pink
have seen
zone.
I have seen the Quentin Tarantino scene where he talks about Top Gun,
It's a
being
homoerotic
a
movie.
homoerotic movie, and all I could say was, "Yep, I agree with you."
Well, fuck him for trying to also put stuntmen out of business. See, I'll do the stunts for you. It was like, no, you won't, Tom. That typically kills people when you do that.
Granted, I liked him in Tropic Thunder. I liked him in Born on the 4th of July.
Minority Report, but yeah.
Minority Report. But when he started to do like, what was the one he did where he played the sports agent?
Oh, Jerry Maguire. But
Jerry Maguire.
I love the hell out of A Few Good Men, but each time I watch it, I keep waiting for Jack Nicholson or Kiefer Sutherland to headbutt the shit out of him during court.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want that fucker to throw an axe at him and say, next question. Oh, so Jeremy Piven. That dude is a prick.
I don't know who that is.
That's the
Ari
asshole that was
Gold,
in-
Entourage,
Yep.
plenty of other movies, Judgment Night,
PCU.
PCU.
Oh, was he the
Very
guy
Bad-
in May?
Yeah, Very Bad Things. Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea.
Lucas.
Yeah,
He was also
Vincent Lucas.
Yeah, he is in Lucas with Charlie
Wow,
Sheen.
he was
Lucas.
in Lucas?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Lucas-
played one of the best friends of Charlie Sheen. He was in One Crazy Summer.
Yeah, he's in a bunch of
Yes.
movies with his pal John Cusack. Yeah.
Yeah, and Piven. I
Seems
don't
like
know.
a piece of work. It seems like he's method actor Ari Gold and he never shuts it off.
Cameras off, Jeremy. Yeah.
Stop it! Snap out of it!
Yeah, that's one I'm familiar with his work, but I'm not familiar with his off-screen
Same garbage.
antics. Yeah.
he got in trouble for sexual
Like-
harassment. Or,
Yeah, like 20 chicks. And what I don't like is I've just always heard how he's just always tried to upstage actors and like beat dicks to
Yeah.
them. And I'm like, fuck you,
Yeah.
man. You can be replaced. You're part of an ensemble here, so
Yeah.
don't be the character. Be funny. And
Wasn't all his characters the same?
you know,
Yeah,
that's
it's always
just it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always the best friend, or well, he was the best friend in Gross Point Blank, the best friend in Serendipity.
Or the guy trying to get his dick wet. Yeah. Yeah.
He was the best friend of the bad guy in One Crazy Summer. He's the
Mhm.
best friend of Charlie, one of the best friends of Charlie Sheen and Lucas.
Yeah.
You know, and don't
always-
forget he was on Carol and Company with Carol
Mhm.
Burnett.
Thank you for being a friend. Yeah. Carolyn and Company. Yep. All right.
No, Carol and Company.
Carol Company. Yeah.
No, never mind.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but I know what you're talking about. Yes. All right. So Smash Mouth. We already shat on them last episode because they redid the monkeys. They seem like pretty shitty people. Especially at that last COVID concert. They're like, it's all fake.
I couldn't take the music.
Not the sharpest tools in the shed, so to speak.
No, I just no, I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying, it's just
I know. I'm saying, are they garbage?
I don't know because it's like they had those 3 big hits and then that was it.
Yep.
And I'm not going to be critical of them. I'm not going to say they're bad. I just kind of look at it as like they did All Star. They had I'm a Believer, and they had
Walking on the Sun.
Walking on the Sun.
Walking on the sun.
You're known for those songs, and that's it. And it's like, and didn't they break up on stage or something like that?
That's what I've heard too. Douchey stuff like that, where you're just like, this is amateur hour. You don't do that after people have paid $40+ to go to see your fucking concert.
Which begs the question of why somebody would be paying $40 to go see Smash Mouth.
Oh, yeah. When you can just watch the Shrek special features. But Courtney
At
Love.
this point, that they realized that Thomas had a very good point.
Courtney Love.
Courtney Love, is she garbage? Did she kill
No.
Kurt Cobain?
Oh, yes.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. I think she's a decent actress, but yeah, I think she's a piece of work.
We'll return after these messages.
Hello and welcome to Culture Shocked, the pop culture podcast brought to you by 4 aging millennials and our outdated opinions. Join us every Tuesday as we discuss movies, TV, games, and even music, new and old.
Dude, what do you think you're doing?
Are you seriously trying to record a promo without us right now?
Well, yeah?
Dude, you can't just do the promo by yourself. Who's gonna listen to that?
Yeah, and you probably haven't even told them that we're a pop culture podcast where we always agree on everything. For instance, the Sam Raimi trilogy easily being the best of the Spider-Man movies.
No. But I think we can all agree that Jaws is a classical masterpiece.
Nope, don't like that. But we do all agree that the sequel trilogy of Star Wars is the best in the Skywalker saga, right, guys?
That comment is so ridiculous. I don't even know where to
Anyways, that'll do it from all of us here at Culture Shock. Thanks for listening.
Do you ever find yourself thinking about who would win in a fight between Goku and Superman? Hi, I'm James Gavsey, and on the Who Would Win show, me and my co-host Ray ignore anything important happening in the outside world and debate fictional battles between characters from comics, movies, and video games.
We got a new show every week, and almost always am I the winner.
Yeah, not true, Ray.
In the past, we've discussed such matches as Captain America versus Darth Vader, Solid Snake versus the Iron Giant, classic matchups like RoboCop versus Terminator, and even the Muppets versus Sesame Street.
That one was crazy. So if you're a fan of geek culture and love a spirited debate, check out the Who Would Win show wherever you get your podcasts, or check us out at whowouldwinshow.com.
We let things pile up in the DVR. We add them to our queues. We wait for the DVDs and Blu-rays. We time shift. The Time Shifters Podcast. Sci-fi, horror, fantasy, superheroes, comedy, action, film, television, maybe some not-so-current events. Find us on iTunes or at timeshifterspodcast.com.
Cool thing about Blind Knowledge is we are in multiple countries. We are worldwide all across the globe. We are in the US, we are in the UK, we are in Canada, Germany, India, Japan. We're in Australia, y'all. BlindKnowledge.com. Now back to the feature presentation.
And this is a piece of shit.
No, I wouldn't. Don't. No, she's had problems, man. Don't. When you're when you're into substance abuse, and all that shit, and your life kind of goes up and down. According to I don't think you'd call her a piece of shit. I think she's had a troubled life, and she's had to weather through a lot of things. But I wouldn't call her garbage. Nah, man, nah.
Just the way she's treated Dave Grohl and the other guy.
Well, yeah, I mean
over the whole thing. That's a dickish move right there.
Yeah. I mean when you treat the bandmates of your late husband's band like shit, that's something totally different. I mean, that's like something it's like, but you don't. I mean, it.
So you think she's crappy, but not garbage? Okay, no, it's fine. There's a difference.
There's a mindset.
I think she needs to get her head out of her ass.
But did she do it?
Ooh, it is a good question. I think she gave him a gun. I don't know that she pulled it. I'd have to be a detective who's been over it. And good question.
That was a good one.
Axl Rose. Oh, garbage. Fuck that man. Seriously.
I'd have to.
No sweet child of mine. No.
I wouldn't fuck him with Tommy Lee's dick.
I think the things that he's pulled, and the biggest dick move he ever did was.
I refuse to share the stage with Nirvana.
No, it's not that.
Oh.
The Monsters of Rock tour, 91. It was Metallica, Guns N' Roses, and I forgot who else was on that.
Well,
so Metallica plays their set, right? He's in the back. He's drinking wine, drinking like
the Black Crowes, AC/DC, and Pantera performed with Metallica.
Yeah. So
I'm not seeing Guns N' Roses.
No, it was the big tour. It was Metallica and Guns N' Roses. Okay. And all I remember is
it's at 87. 87.
No. It was the Appetite for Destruction tour or something like that.
Oh, okay.
All right. No, not Appetite. Use Your Illusion.
Yeah.
So he's in the back. They're playing. It's Metallica playing. And they would switch off. One. So he comes out on stage. He's singing. Some guy has a video camera. He starts pointing. Says, "Get that guy right there. Get that guy right there. Right there. Yeah." And he's like, you know what? I'm fucking done. He takes his hat, throws it in the audience, and slams the mic down and walks off the stage. And there was a riot. And I'm like sitting there and I'm like watching this video. I'm like, holy shit. Because he had what it is that he was a poor kid from Indiana, right?
This sounds about right.
Comes to Los Angeles, creates, has this band. They have a big hit with Appetite for Destruction.
Mm-hmm.
They wait 2-3 years, and then they put out a double album, and it's like he kind of like let the rock and roll lifestyle get to him, where he thought there's an old phrase, he thought he pissed perfume. No, it's an actual,
No, I get it. He's said so much petty stuff where you're like, where does that come from? It's not a biker culture. That's not rock culture. That's just a special kind of douchebag. It's like, I've always heard about him just kicking people, and like, how there's plenty of people I have not brought up because their career has done the talking, like Steven Seagal, without a doubt, is garbage. But it's like with Axl Rose, this is like, I still see plenty of people defending him, and it's like, no, look at the shit he has done. This is not just typical rock star asshole behavior, like I was rude to a waiter or told a fan to fuck off. And it's like, no, this is worse. This is the kind of guy
somebody with a phone.
Well, even worse than that, like just kick people just randomly in the parking lot just because he doesn't like how you're staring at it. Yeah, he's that kind of prick.
It's the ego. That's what it is. It's the ego.
It's ego, but it's something a little else. I think, like you say, how he was raised, I think he must have gotten rich too quickly and just decided, I can do whatever. I am entitled.
And then you got to remember, too, they were going to work on a third record, and it didn't come out for 16
Chinese
years.
Democracy Part 5.
And then all I remember is 2003, they got the original lineup back together, I think, but it wasn't... But Matt Sorum was playing drums, not the other guy, and Steve Adler wasn't playing drums. It was Matt Sorum, and all I remember is people were going nuts about it, and I'm like, my buddy was like, yeah, I watched him. I said, what'd you think? He says, it's like I like Guns N' Roses, but there's a point where I'm like, I have to, say to myself, any band that has a lead singer where, he thinks he's better than everybody else in the world.
Oh, Jesus.
With a lot of bands, that I like, you gotta just say, okay, let it go. Let it go.
Let it go.
The safety of the country outweighs the love of the artist,
Yeah.
So Axl just has to go. Like, sorry, November Rain was awesome, but you're gonna hurt a lot of people.
Yeah. Spaghetti Incident, which is the one that I love, is the reason why they
I'll
did
give
that.
you a spaghetti incident.
No. The title comes from an incident at the stage where he threw a plate of spaghetti at somebody. So they call it the Spaghetti Incident.
Well, given how big Axl Rose has gotten, I don't think he's been doing that a lot lately.
No. And he did anybody hear the work he did with AC/DC?
I think I did.
He took over for
Ryan.
Yeah.
But I just feel sorry for Sebastian Bach and other members of Skid Row having to participate in Chinese democracy. That just can't be good on your resume. So Gwyneth Paltrow. Steve, Jill, you've been quiet. We need you to participate, dude.
I told you this is probably not going to be a subject I'd be very good on.
Yeah, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Ape shit crazy person. I don't think she's garbage, but she's a piece of work.
I've definitely read a few interesting things about her.
You gotta eat apples. It's healthy for you. And your kids, they gotta work out 12 hours a day. It's like, they're fucking 6 years old. They're not doing that.
I don't know. Any woman who makes a vagina scented candle in my book, which she did.
Special kind of crazy you can tolerate.
I'm even trying to think of what she's been in that I liked.
Yeah.
Sliding Doors.
Yeah. Sliding Doors is good, and Perfect Murder, and
all I know is she's the daughter of Blythe Danner and the
Bruce
son
Paltrow.
of Bruce Paltrow.
Who everyone said on St. Elsewhere.
She is her daughter. That's I feel bad for Blythe.
I remember G.W. Bailey when he got an interview about why he left St. Elsewhere. He always said Bruce Paltrow pissed every actor off on that show.
I kind of have her.
That's funny.
Yeah,
I kind of have her in that Joe Rogan category where like
she's dumb, but she's not
like she's really stupid. Like she's not even sure if she was in Iron Man. You know?
I kind of got that just yeah.
God.
And
the real
and
dumb
she
blonde
sells this just crap.
Has anyone actually bought it? I don't think anyone's bought it. Yeah.
I just light it every 28 days and then I just leave it alone.
Like she likes the smell of her own shit, you know?
Let there be pink and brown.
I mean, where do you put the wick on that candle? That's the question I'm asking.
John Wick. I don't know.
Where do you put the wick?
Come on. Don't tell me you can't find the wick.
I mean, where do you go from that? Those scented candles. That's.
I don't want to know.
Yeah, there's nowhere else to go, I guess.
Didn't they teach you anything in health class?
Okay, but I'm like thinking,
oh shit! All right.
And do they give you another candle that says one in the stink? But you know,
I think she took a Brazilian wax a little bit too far.
Oh Jesus! Oh man! Oh, I think you guys sealed the deal. So she's just fucking stupid. She's not garbage. All right, so Marlon Brando. I'm sorry, fucking garbage. Great fucking actor.
I'll go with garbage too.
Fuck that guy.
Great actor.
Seriously, fuck that guy.
Great actor. Strangest fucking human being I've ever heard in my life.
Oh man, Coppola should have grown a brain. And not...
if you ever read about him making
Dr. Moreau.
Oh, man. Holy shit, the demands he had. He said he wanted to do a special with Don Rickles hosting and him being interviewed as Dr. Moreau.
Him and Val Kilmer on that were pretty bad too.
I was going to get to him.
Yeah.
I'll get to him in a minute.
I liked it. That's all I got to say.
It's a great comedy.
I liked it. You give me think it was creatures and weirdness. I'm in there.
It was a great comedy. That's all I'll say.
Well, what he did everybody talks about Brando being the greatest actor of all time. Okay, that's fine, but his personal life was such turmoil. And he, everybody thinks he had a hit every year. For a while there, he wasn't doing anything till he got The Godfather.
Mm-hmm.
Because he made Reflections in a Golden Eye, I think Missouri Breaks.
Yep.
And then, he tests for The Godfather. He gets it on pure luck, basically, because they wanted to have Orson Welles in there, or Laurence Olivier.
Crazy people they could not possibly afford. And it is funny how the dwarf actor who was his right-hand man grew such a big head by getting special treatment along with Brando that he started copying him and punching people in the dick, and that the New Line executive heard about that, and that was the inspiration for Mini-Me. Not kidding.
Wow.
I can see that.
New Line cinema, man.
You ever watched the Larry King interview? Holy shit, he's gone off the deep end.
That's so bad. Oh my god, it's great, but it's so bad. Oh man. So Val Kilmer. Garbage.
No.
Garbage. Fucking garbage.
I don't think he's garbage. I think for a time he was garbage, but
I feel sorry for him because I'm a big
now
fan.
He's basically very unhealthy.
Yeah.
No, he's very unhealthy. I'm just saying, like, someone should have just put him in his place. I don't know if Tom Cruise raised his ego on Top Gun or what, but someone should have bitch slapped him and said, "You will stop, talking shit to people."
Well, the thing I gotta say is with him is that I feel sorry for him because he's got throat cancer. He had his fucking voice box removed.
Yeah,
He's
that
got,
sucks.
and you got to think he did have a documentary about himself. Where he talked about everything that he
Well,
did.
that's the other problem I have is he acts like he was never mean to people. I'm like, yeah, that's bullshit.
But
people
you
have
got,
said it.
to me, it's like I don't know. I mean, if someone is a dick, but they go through a big tragedy like Val Kilmer, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm kind of like, let it be, let it be, it just happened. But
right.
Mercy.
Maybe if he didn't do Top Secret, he'd be a different person.
But has he
Real
ever
genius.
done anything that has risen above just being a dick?
Okay, so apparently
Like Doc Holliday in Tombstone.
I think once you get the throat
he
cancer,
and Kurt Russell were directing the cast, but apparently he was a dick on the set of Red Planet. Not a movie to be proud of anyway, but he and Tom Sizemore were just like refusing, like stealing each other's weights and getting into a fight, and that was in addition to talking shit to the PAs and everything.
What movie? So now you're leading into
Red Planet.
Sizemore.
Yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Well, he is garbage, unfortunately. Pedophile tendencies, but yeah. So yeah. No, this was Red Planet. This was on, but yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
So, he was kind of well behaved, I guess, on Ghost in the Darkness and Heat, but yeah, on Batman Forever and Moreau, that was when everyone realized, man,
Moreau was the only thing I'd heard about.
What a great actor. But yeah, any scene where he's practically in the bat suit in Forever, it's not him at all. Like Schumacher had to fucking beg to just get a goddamn close up of him. The dude was just so impossible. Like, just if you disagree with him for 1 minute, he would fucking go in his trailer and that would be it for filming for the day. It's like, fuck you, dude. Come on. Faye Dunaway,
bitch,
garbage. I knew a gal who was doing a crappy movie with her in Austin or something or Oklahoma, and they could only afford food, limited amount of food for it was that low budget, and she knew damn well. And because she didn't like the personal assistant who was giving her beans and rice and everything, she took the food and just threw it on the ground outside her trailer.
Well, the story goes is that she does not want to talk about Mommy Dearest in any way, shape, or form.
Oh God,
she's kind of scooted around it, made a little mention of it, but
I blame Roman Polanski for kind of going all method acting on her.
Well, no, because with Mommy Dearest, that movie was supposed to be like another Oscar coming her way since she won for Network, and it just basically just blew up and became like this totally
larger than life, yeah,
campy hit, because she and then the thing is, you find out the truth about what really happened with Joan Crawford, that it was written from Christina's point of view, and she Joan Crawford had two twins that were adopted and they weren't even mentioned, but
yeah,
and Faye Dunaway, she did a couple good movies, but her behavior, it's kind of like, I can't put it into words what I've heard about her, but she's been very nasty to people. And, there were times when they were making Mommy Dear, she would stop because her boyfriend was there at the time, who was, I forgot who the boyfriend was.
I don't know.
But there's a book by Rutanya Alda, who played Carol Ann on the in the movie, where she basically just dishes everything that happened.
Wow.
And it's like, oh boy,
Yeah, she just seemed like a terrible person.
Yeah.
Did her kids she got buried with no tombstone? Is that like they kind of just like when she died, they're like, whatever.
Joan Crawford?
Yeah.
Well, what happened was that when she died, Steve, the reading of the will, she gave her money to, she basically cut out her Christine and Christopher from the will. Yeah. And she basically was, because Joan in real life did a lot of things. Like Christine Crawford was appearing on a show called The Secret Storm, which is an old soap opera.
Yeah.
And if you ever watch the movie, Christine Crawford was like a 20-year-old, 20-something-year-old girl. Well, then
it's on
Joan
Showtime this month if you want to suffer through it.
Joan comes on the show playing Christine's part while Christine Crawford was recuperating from a tumor in her ovary that burst. So there she is watching. If you watch the movie, there she is on TV, and she's seeing her mother playing like a 20-year-old housewife.
Wow.
And it's like, oh my God, yeah.
I
So
forgot about that. Yeah.
But yeah, the tombstone thing, I gotta find that out, man.
Yeah. So basically, George P. Cosmato's definitely a garbage person. Vic Armstrong, famous Indiana Jones stuntman and stunt double, noted how he practically rescued Escape to Athena, the Greek shoot with Lee Marvin and Roger Moore, because no one wanted to work with that dude. He was just so full of himself and standoffish. George P. Cosmato's the director, and because Stallone made him his bitch on the set of Rambo 2 and Cobra, Kurt Russell came a knocking to him saying, "Hey, we did so well in Tango and Cash. Who's a director who can practically ghost direct? Because I want to direct Tombstone, but the studio won't let me because I'm not a member of the guild and what have you." And they're like, George P. Cosmatos, you can pretty much tell to shut up and do what you say. So every other person would direct a scene. Billy Bob directed a scene. Val Kilmer directed a scene. It's like, that's why it's so fucking good. It's an actor's movie.
Well,
yeah, mind blown. Directed by 20 actors starring in the fucking movie.
God. Escape from Athena. Jesus, that's a ABC late night movie.
Yeah, total ABC 2 a.m. antenna channel movie. Okay, so Jack Palance, I hear he's a real piece of work. I don't think he's garbage though, but you guys tell me. All right.
Quiet guy.
Yeah, I hadn't heard anything. I just know, he had alcohol problems and stuff like that at one point.
Yeah,
might have slapped someone.
He was a ham.
He was
that age bracket. Who didn't?
My favorite story is supposedly he was doing a movie called Angel's Revenge. If anybody's ever seen Mystery Science Theater,
that's been a Mystery Science Theater and a riff track.
Oh, the Angel. Yeah. That's the. Oh my God.
that's the one that's wow. It kind of reminds me of a TV show that it's like Charlie's Angels.
Right.
Supposedly the director paid him in bottles of scotch. Yeah,
I'd probably do it for free too if I was
judging from his acting in that movie. He was probably drinking at the time.
Drunk
Jack. Who do you think drank more in that movie, Peter Lawford or Jack Palance? I don't know.
That's a good question.
I think Palance had a head start. He probably already had come to work drunk.
I think. Yeah, Peter Lawford. When he was doing the painting, he was slurring his words pretty bad.
Yeah,
I would have to go with it. Depends on what they're drinking.
Oh yeah,
I don't think Peter Lawford could keep up with the hard whiskey.
Oh,
but he'll outpace your ass in cocktails.
Yeah, but like
that's probably what he drank. Cocktails.
Jack Palance was doing later with Bob Costas. And Costas was like lobbing him all these answers. He was just telling me very sort of and then the cameras went off. He said, "Let me tell you about the time I hung out with Marilyn Monroe." Costas is like, "You should have told me this shit while we were on the air," But my favorite thing is when he got up on the Oscars.
It's a great story.
He was on the Oscars and he did the one-handed push-ups, and he said, "Billy Crystal, I crap bigger than him."
Yeah, just to show he's not a liar. All right, so Mickey Rourke. I think he's a flawed individual, but you tell me, is he garbage?
No. No.
I think he's a piece of work. All right. Winona Ryder.
No.
All right. I think she's a petty gal. You don't shoplift when you got millions of dollars. That's just shitty.
She was great in Lucas. She was great in
yeah. She's great in South Park. Oh wait, that wasn't her. Just laid an egg. Frank Langella. I hear he's a piece of shit.
Oh well.
Rapping.
No,
Nixon really is a crook. All right. Andy Dick.
He's an ass.
He's garbage. Never.
Oh,
funny.
come on! You heard the stories about him and Lovitz going at it because
I love John Lovitz. He wins.
John Lovitz, like he would go up to John Lovitz, start talking about Phil Hartman, and Phil Hartman and John Lovitz were like really close friends.
Yeah.
And after and they both worked on news radio, but Andy Dick is like, kind of he's had a lot of substance abuse problems, and a lot of things were he's jumped off, he's kind of like he's kind of all the while thinking, no, I think you're an insulting prick to do that to somebody, especially someone who's had who lost a friend.
Well, and he faked out so many people. Yeah. He'd be gone, and then he'd be back, and you're like, where the fuck were you for the last 5 hours? Oh, I was running around LA. I'm like, well, what the fuck, dude? That's not cool.
Hollywood history has somebody's surname been so appropriate?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I've never heard a good thing about that guy. I don't think he's even that funny, but
nah, I can't stand that Star Trek episode.
He's doing like a really feminine, and I'm gonna say Jerry Lewis was like, let me just, he would just like, screw up something. He'd be like, I saw it before. Don't worry, it's not that funny.
I've been doing that shtick for 20 years. It's not that funny. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, are they garbage people? Seems like they're work.
I think they're both very, very, very flawed.
Yeah, I agree with Steve.
It's fine. Because we're only going to what we've heard. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Amber's just a shitty. Go ahead.
What's that?
Amber's just a shitty person.
Yeah.
Well, as far as the Johnny Depp Amber Heard
Seems
thing
like
goes,
they abused each other literally.
Yeah.
Why didn't we hear more about Ghislaine Maxwell?
Well, that's a good question.
We heard all about, like, I didn't want to hear anything. I just totally didn't care.
Yeah.
And I know way more about that trial than I have a right to. And it was a complete blackout on the child trafficker.
I'm in the same boat. I heard people talking about it, and
wait, what?
No, the Amber Heard. No, but on the flip side, Ghislaine Maxwell. They kind of just, I mean, they had, she went to jail, whatever even happened to her. I mean, and we never found out.
Well, her trial was going on at the exact same time.
And these fucking celebrities were overshadowing it. Yeah.
I mean,
no, there was no news.
Yeah, there's so much.
What is news? You're right.
Like, that whole situation is just, and her supposedly her dad is some guy in the Mossad or something. So they were almost I mean, it's, again, you're never gonna know, I guess, but they're acting like it was like a set, the whole thing was like a setup to get all these like rich people to get stuff on like all these rich people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing, that's still bunny. Yeah, as much as I feel that it bothers you and it should bother people, it definitely bothered me that
got overshadowed, and there's like, this is a way more pressing matter than he said. She said like this gal in prison.
Oh yeah, she's the one that worked with Jeffrey Epstein, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not on here because we know they're garbage, but
yeah. I mean, you couldn't escape it. Like I would be at work and people talking about like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. I'm like,
I know, what side are you on? It's like, I don't.
And then people like hate watching it, even though they know it, kind of like the American Idol type thing, but like times like 1,000. I just don't understand, but
it became OJ.
And with Johnny Depp having won in the Johnny Depp having lost in the UK case, which was basically the same case as this one.
Yeah, Ellen Barkin
it's
testified
like
and said he almost
50-50.
laid a hand on me. Is like Jesus. Okay,
Almost.
almost.
So it's like, okay, you won one and you won one.
Now we go into sudden death, and who has the ball at the goal line?
Yeah,
we need
where's the
one more
trial gonna
fall
be?
or submission.
Where's the
Yeah.
trial gonna
All I
be?
know is
Like
that
Thailand.
all I know
If
is
it'll help,
Amber
I'll
was
tap out.
sketchy and lying about various places and kind of a piece of work and slapped a woman she was in a relationship with. And then, yeah, Depp, I know he was late to set and pressuring extras and producers to actually punch him in the face. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you pricks?
Andy disowns Nightmare on Elm Street, so he definitely gets that one.
There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But does he disown the Lone Ranger? That's the.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I knew the
Oh,
minute
that
that
needs
horse
to be
was
disowned.
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer. You took Geostorm off your resume. Why didn't you take that piece of shit? Jim Carrey. I like him. I think he's
I like
flawed.
him.
Right?
Yeah, I think that
Everyone's 50-50 on the girlfriend overdosing.
No. I gotta say, he's a funny comedian. Good actor. And I think Man on the Moon was probably one of the best movies I've seen. Where they got everything kind of historically right.
Great movie.
And someone like him, yeah, I can, I can understand where he comes from with this, but I've never heard anything bad about him. I've never heard anything like, he punched somebody out or something like that.
Yeah, I think he's had a few outspoken flaws, but I don't think he's.
All right, wait. Did you say Jim Carrey or Drew Carey?
Jim Carrey. I've never heard anything bad about Drew Carey either.
Okay. Yeah, okay, but if you look at Drew Carey and heard they found bodies buried in his basement,
well,
how surprised are you?
I wouldn't be surprised actually,
What's
because
this? I would have. First of all, I'd have to ask whether they were real or whether they were plastic.
Did Ryan or Wayne Brady?
And do they have lotion on them?
Yeah. All I know is
I
that
hope
Drew,
to God that's
I will
lotion.
always respect Drew because he was a former Marine and he probably had to take some serious shit from people. I don't know.
Moon over Parma tonight.
Buzzing you out. Alec Baldwin.
Oh, sandwich.
I can't give that a shot.
Okay.
Oh.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Guys, bad decision making.
Okay. I'd probably
give me a
punch out
helmet.
Chris Rock.
Give me a helmet and a foxhole, and I will duck under there if he's ever around. Because that guy, Will Smith showed that night at the Oscars. Will Smith showed that he is clipped like a gelding. Because Chris Rock made a joke
about his cuckold scenario. Yeah.
And he went up and slapped Chris Rock, but if you watch it, he's laughing, but then Jada Pinkett gives him that look of like, he
do something.
You
that was really.
He literally could have just said "fuck you" in the audience, and that would have been sufficed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that
we
was
said,
crazy though.
I would have just flipped him off
JJ.
and said "fuck you, dude."
Oh,
Your own
Steve.
jokes.
the video, like I after seeing that again, I don't know if I watched like the whole. I don't really watch the Oscars. I mean, I know people. Yeah, I mean, I know a couple like really film freaks that watch them, and I get it, but yeah, the camera's on him for like a minute or two, and he's definitely laughing. And again, with the joke, it's like, yeah, maybe it's off color, but did he even know of like her? Like, I mean, I guess if you're into like knowing about celebrities, you would have known about his wife, like the alopecia or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was definitely
flawed individuals.
Judgment.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't genuinely think he's like a terrible person. I think
he just
got
lost
some
his
issues.
cool. Everyone had too much wine.
And I think too, Jade is the one that basically, if you ever read about her,
I hear she's a piece of work too. She was
Yeah.
Tupac's girlfriend after all. Oh,
and then not only that, she like cheated openly on Will, supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just,
Yeah.
I just look at him and I'm like, yeah, dude, I love you in
The
Fresh
main
Prince, I love
issue
you,
with
but
Will
your
Smith
wife,
is
bro.
that he goes to the same church as John Travolta and Tom Cruise because he's a Scientologist secretly. So.
And they have him and his wife have that podcast, right? Where they kind of talked about that.
And they got
where it was
real
like,
to where they were like, stop the camera, stop the camera.
yeah.
No
when they start doing
pictures.
stop the camera, they've kind of like
Worst PR team ever.
And meanwhile, Chris Rock is getting all this love and attention, which I love, because he was just in this, like, you could make that joke 10 years ago and it would have been hilarious. You make
Right.
it now,
I get bitch slapped. Yeah.
get my wife's name out of your mouth. Keep my wife's name out of your
After having heard it so many times, we're kind of used to it.
Oh
but
dear! I hope you didn't
making
hear
a
it.
GI Jane fucking joke. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Chris.
It's
Come
not
on.
the worst possible joke.
We don't have flying cars and things suck, but join us in the 21st century.
Yeah. All right.
I just
so,
love the fact that you made fun of G.I. Jane because I hate that movie.
oh shit. Okay.
But I
so-
hear a knock on my door. It's Will Smith.
Oh God.
Oh, there go our Demi Moore listeners.
Oh,
All
poor
two
Demi
of them?
Moore.
No.
Two of them. Asia Argento. Garbage.
Who?
Oh, fucking garbage.
The founder
Who?
of Me Too, who was also doing some statutory rape and is Dario Argento's actress daughter.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I had a crush on her growing up, but holy shit.
Yeah. She's
Fuck that
definitely.
gal. You don't start.
I'll say 99%.
I'm sorry you were molested by Weinstein, but Jesus, you
Yeah.
don't do the
Nah,
same
you can't.
thing to a kid who's acting in your stupid movie. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And like, at least in part, has at least a hand in Anthony Bourdain's suicide.
I am still iffy on that, but I wouldn't be
Who's
surprised if
suicide?
How so?
she was dating the
just by
CNN host,
by
Anthony
finding
Bourdain.
out that your girlfriend and wife is fucking a 14-year-old.
Oh.
Oh, okay. I didn't even
That
know they
was
were
the
an item.
rumor, yeah. And
that could bring a person down.
Hey, who committed suicide?
Anthony Bourdain,
Anthony
the
Bourdain.
CNN food host,
Anthony Bourdain. Okay.
Beyond Borders or whatever the fuck he was hosting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the rumor that he heard about that and was like, "Oh, fuck you, Asia, I'm ending it." And
Oh Jesus.
Here I thought it was because she offered to. Here I thought she offered to cook him a home cooked meal.
Oh, boo.
Oh.
Too soon. All right.
Too soon or not soon enough?
Oh, well, not soon enough. You should have joked
Do we
about
have,
it.
do we have
when
a
it
car
first-
crash effect after that?
Oh my God.
It definitely is a car crash effect. All right, so Robert Pastorelli. You might know him
I love
from
him a little
Murphy
bit, Pesto.
Brown. Yeah. Good actor. I'm just saying.
What movie?
Robert Pastorelli. He was freaking Eldon on Murphy Brown.
Oh.
He had a crazy incident where he was like killed a gal who was jealous of him or some shit.
Oh, shit,
what?
Glenn Close was like a friend of his and stopped talking about him after that. Oh,
Committed
man.
suicide, right? Or drug overdose?
Fatal, yeah, morphine dose.
Yeah, I remember.
You read about it and you're like, this is a total Ray Donovan Sopranos situation.
I mean, the guy had problems. I wouldn't say he was that bad, but I remember seeing him in Dances with Wolves.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is Eldon doing on Dances with Wolves?
In a boring ass Kevin Costner movie. What the fuck, Eldon?
Oh my God, this guy. I'm just looking at a picture of him.
You've seen him. A racer with Schwarzenegger. He was on
He was born in New
American
Jersey.
I was born in New Jersey. No,
You know, the problem we have with a couple of people we've talked about tonight is a few of them, including this gentleman, has been in Miami Vice.
He's been in everything.
Yeah.
St. Elsewhere.
Robert Pastor. I didn't even know he died.
Yeah. I stopped being relevant after 04, but
yeah.
Oh man. So Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears.
All right, I'm gonna give this to you right now. Ari Spears. I like him.
I did too.
And
seems like he's just been a dick recently. Yeah.
But I'm gonna say this right now. What he did with a certain female singer, calling her out.
Yeah. What's her name?
We're not going to mention her name.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get sued.
All about that juice. You guys know. Anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he has a right to make a joke. About how she is in public. But yeah,
acting like she's too fat to fuck. And I was like, yeah, dude, go fuck yourself. That's not funny.
But it's like.
But they recently were both incriminated, claiming that they did a how to avoid a pedophile skit or something. I saw the skit on archive.org when people were reporting on it. It's not very funny, but Funnier Guy rejected it.
There's a line you have to draw sometimes when you're a comedian. But yet again, I'm one of those people who says, fuck the line, jump over it. But, I don't know. I mean,
they're either going too far or they've done some shady shit to people. I won't know until I hear the ruling and hear more witnesses, but it seems like there's not many witnesses. So it could either be someone who thought something ill of them, or it could be they're douchebags, but they're not garbage. So,
who knows,
Right. Okay, I'll go into more your lane. So Jerry Lewis.
The biggest jerk off I've ever heard about in my life.
All right, but is he garbage?
And I'm gonna fuck yeah.
Damn, I thought he was just an asshole.
And I'm gonna give you some stories. Number one, the infamous story that I heard about the MDA telethon. That he supposedly would be in the back, and there'd be kids back there, and he'd be like, give me the kids who's the most sickest, and I want to come out with him, and let me know his name.
Oh wow.
All right.
That's fucked up.
the infamous calling the cameraman's son a homo while they were taping.
Okay, yeah, I will admit that's a good
one. Yeah.
When I saw him on the SVU episode where he's playing Richard Belzer, Detective Munch's uncle who's losing his mind, I'm like, was that just a documentary of Jerry Lewis?
No. How he basically tried to have his way with a lot of the starlets that he was working with. Yeah.
A nerd on screen plays creep off.
Yeah. And everybody thought, and he was just really, I mean, I'll tell you how much of an asshole he was. When he died, he had kids from his first marriage, and then he had a daughter that he adopted with his second wife. He gave all the money to the second wife and the kid. The other kids were cut out of the will.
Ooh. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I take it back. That's garbage just from that.
and then, he was like, everybody thought when they broke up, Martin and Lewis, Jerry was going to be the big hit and Dean was going to just sink. But it became the opposite way around. Dean went up, Jerry went down in value. And Jerry made a movie, and you guys should look this up. It's called The Day the Clown Cried.
Yes. I still want it released. I still want it released.
Legend.
Okay. Yeah. It's the infamous movie where he He filmed it. It was about him playing a clown in Germany in World War II.
Before HBO Max was canceling projects, they were canceling this movie.
This movie was him. And then what he does is he entertains the children in the concentration camps when they go into the gas chambers, right? Like the UFC. So this to him was his big project.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching him going like, this is something I've wanted to make for a long time. And I think, it'll be very, very good to do, and meanwhile, I'm thinking to myself, this is the ego project. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's him showing people he can do the drama, he can, but what happened was they started to get the rushes back and they were like, we can't release this. This is a piece of shit. And even he was like, yeah, I don't want to release it. And they can't release it like 20 years after he died or something like that. There are people who have seen it.
Who said they were like at a preview screening or something.
Yeah,
that was a thing.
Harry Shearer said he saw it. And he said he couldn't believe what he saw.
It's like this comedy legend made
this comedy legend. And then he comes back with like Hardly Working and what was the other one that he did? Cracking Up. But Jerry has always been a very bitter person, and it stems from him. It stems from him with his childhood, because his father was a real jerk.
Yep.
And Dean, when they broke up, Dean, why are you breaking up with me, Dean? To me, kid, you're just a fucking dollar sign. That's what Dean Martin said, which I think,
that's awesome.
But Jerry was a bitter person,
and he had Dean was the jerk. It was the other way around.
Yeah, no, it was the other way around. And like, if you ever read about Jerry, Jerry was his own kids said to him, we were talking about. They said like when our father would come home, we didn't know who the hell was coming home. We weren't allowed to even talk at the table. And there's like this one picture that I saw, a painting of him and his kids dressed like Harlequin clowns, and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, this guy was demented,
Yep.
And he was, granted, he made some great movies, but just a really awful human being,
All right.
Anybody want to chime in?
Is Frank Sinatra worse, or is he just a flawed human being?
Okay, you're getting up my alley now.
Yeah.
I've heard he hung out with some garbage people, but is he?
Okay.
Like the Kennedys,
Sinatra
man. Likes to hang out with gangsters, man.
Well, no. Let's just say he was friends with them. Okay.
For sure, friends, not food.
Sinatra was a flawed person because you got to realize he left his first wife for Ava Gardner. But remember, he got the role from Here to Eternity because Ava Gardner told Harry Cohen, "Look, Frank's perfect for the part of Maggio, the Italian." And Harry Cohen didn't want him in; he thought he was washed up. But when you hear about some of the stories, what Sinatra did, he would tell Jilly Rizzo, who was it? Dominic Dunn, who was
it's almost a tongue twister name. Dominic.
Yeah, he was a writer, and he wrote something about Sinatra one time, and they were at a table somewhere, him and his wife and some friends, and Sinatra at another table, and Sinatra told Jilly Rizzo, he whispered something, says, "I'm sorry, I got to do this," and he punched Dominic Dunn right in the stomach.
Jesus, that's pretty thuggish.
And then the story about Peter Lawford, why he was kicked out of the Rat Pack.
Oh yeah.
Sit down, relax, have a drink. I'll tell you what happened. Sinatra supported John F. Kennedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it was 1961, 62 maybe. Kennedy was going to stay at Sinatra's house because Kennedy's sister was married to Peter Lawford, okay? Patricia Kennedy. And Lawford knew, Lawford was in the Rat Pack with Sinatra, so this was going to be a big thing. Sinatra says, he builds a helipad in the backyard, He gets all this stuff ready. But meanwhile, Robert Kennedy, who's the Attorney General, is investigating all the mobsters.
Yes.
That Sinatra is
one phone call
friendly with, right?
Yeah.
So what happens is that JFK is told, look, don't go to Sinatra's house. Tell Peter Lawford you can't go. Go to Ben Crosby's house. It would look a lot better. So meanwhile,
and you go from a guy.
You make this shit up, folks.
You go from a guy who's connected to mobsters, kind of, to a guy who beats his family. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Was in a relationship with Mia Farrow. Oh,
so Sinatra destroys the helipad. Okay, then gets on the phone with Lawford and tells him, "I don't want to even talk to you. I don't even want to see you again. You let me down," because Lawford was like the go-between for everybody,
Yeah. I did hear some of that. I never heard the whole story.
In fact, Peter Lawford was in Vegas one time and went to go see Sinatra, and Sinatra refused to go on the stage till Peter Lawford was escorted out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So
be gone with this man. Be gone.
Sinatra did hold a grudge, and that's the way I look at it. He had his moments.
Fair enough. Okay, Klaus Kinski. Garbage.
Douchebag. I great actor, but a real son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody.
I don't even know if he's an actor, if he's playing himself, though, right?
I suggest everybody watch My Best Fiend.
My Best Fiend, Kinski, yeah.
Kinski, about Kinski and Werner Herzog.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another documentary about Klaus Kinski when he wasn't working with Werner Herzog. But there is a part in My Best Fiend where Kinski goes off on, I think it's the cinematographer.
Yes.
When filming Fitzcarraldo.
Slap him, basically, yeah.
Credits to slap him, tells him to go suck his ass, all this shit. He's like, yeah, but he's doing that. It's like,
oh dear, like, it's sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger's having.
Yeah, well, that's that's how it sounds like. He just goes off on this guy. He calls him a pig. This food is not fit for fucking maggots. Just. And he was a real
barrel things.
He was a terrible person, to his family and stuff.
Yeah, abused Natasha. Yeah.
He had 2 daughters, and supposedly one was abused, and Natasha doesn't remember anything. And he was very, very rude to a lot of people.
Yep.
He would tell directors on how.
Yeah, I told Spielberg, "Go fuck yourself." Raiders of the Lost Ark is the worst script I have read.
I love it, but it's the worst script I ever read.
I don't want to play a Nazi. Nazis are amazing.
But the thing that gets me is like, if you read about him making all these movies just for money, there was a book he read called All I Need Is Love, and they pulled it because it was too graphic.
Yeah,
what he talked about.
Can't reenact it. It's gonna be bad.
So yeah, he was a great actor, but a terrible human being.
Yep. Okay. I know. I don't mean to get us all down, but yeah, we made a warning: garbage or not. So, I'm gonna go with Red Hot Chili Peppers. Are they typical rock band, or are they garbage behind the scenes? That almost raping a fan on screen while giving a British interview is kind of a little much. Flea definitely.
Reading up on like their origins of the band and stuff. It's actually a pretty sad story. Yeah, they're definitely
pieces of work.
Yeah,
I love him to death as a musician, but Jesus, I would probably slap Anthony and say, "What the fuck's wrong with you, dude?"
Yeah, it's funny because you presented this as garbage or not, but it's like garbage.
It's really hard.
Yeah, garbage. Then there's like flawed garbage, like flawed. And
I can understand again cheating and accidentally running someone over like Clark Gable while he's drunk.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Driving off a bridge and not saving the women that's in the car with you.
Oh, that was we're pulling a Kennedy.
Oh, the car fell in the water.
He was a good man, Mr. Kennedy.
And I just remember her.
I'll just say the one who's the one who's spreading all the anti-vaccine stuff. It's a conspiracy theorist, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yeah, that dude's garbage. He had some pretty sound conspiracies, although he could have asked his family for more inside scoop. But I'm just saying, I'm just like, dude, get the fuck off your noggin. I just admire you. And now
if you want to hear the world's when you go back to the Chili Peppers, I mean, great musicians, but Steve's
Great
right.
lyrics.
They've had a tragic like existence. I mean, the first guitar player they have, overdoses, and they were all fucked up, for a while.
Cliff Martinez went on to be a big movie composer. I'm sure he's got some crazy stories.
But you think about it, there's flaws and there's things where I'm like, I just kind of look and I shake my head and I go, I just, you just got to live with it sometimes.
Oh, that's true too. But
then there's the people like Jerry Lewis who just want to, go, ugh,
get a rail gun. Yeah. All right. So James Franco. Is he a perv or
Garbage?
Is he garbage. Okay, awesome. Moving on.
We kind of forgave James Franco like a couple of times now.
Flirting with your students who are underage is like fuck you.
Yeah. That's enough. These are not simple mistakes.
These are not just oops, I should have asked. No, fuck you. Had plenty of time. Marky Mark.
Anybody plays Tommy Wiseau in a movie?
He did a pretty crap portrayal of Tommy Wiseau, I gotta say. But so Mark Wahlberg, garbage or not?
No.
No.
Seems like he's flawed, but I don't think it's garbage. All right.
Got a couple things, don't really work out, but he's a good. I think he's a good guy. I think his brother's a good guy too.
Yeah, Donnie's pretty cool, surprisingly. He's married to Jenny McCarthy, and that's a different story. But Chevy Chase, I think that'll pretty much close this.
I have stories.
Who doesn't have stories?
I have to go asshole, but not garbage.
Okay.
I'll say this. If you've ever read Live from New York.
Oh yes,
the Terry Sweeney thing that he did.
He apparently had an abusive mom, and
no. There's a story about Terry Sweeney was the first openly gay cast member on Saturday Night.
And he wanted to make an AIDS joke. And
no. Here was the thing. He was gonna weigh Terry Sweeney every week to see if he had AIDS, if he had lost weight. That was the joke. And I read that and I went, oh, Jesus, Chevy, and supposedly there's been a lot of things where he was addicted to pain pills because he hurt his back so many times doing those flips, but he got into a fight.
Imitating Gerald Ford.
Yeah. And then there's the story that he got into a fist fight with Bill Murray.
Yep. Bill Murray and John Lovitz was like, I will shit down your throat. He walked off his own Comedy Central roast where they just had to reuse reaction shots.
Yeah. The Comedy Central roast is the one roast they won't air because supposedly Chevy, it was so bad. It was so bad that they were just like, we're never showing this ever again.
Which is such a shame because Richard Belzer does have a hysterical line. He was my friend and I would... 2002.
Okay.
I got a copy if you want one, but yeah.
Oh wow.
Belzer just was like, hey, well, he's always one of my best friends, and I would fuck him like a dog.
Belzer will just say something and it'll be like, he'll just leave it at that, and he'll be
I can live with that.
But the thing that got me was like, he was making a big comeback on Community, Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
And then it just fell apart. The wheels came off.
Season 4, I cannot rewatch. It's such bad. You can just tell everyone's just not getting along. Oh, Well, so that's it for us. Anyone I have not mentioned, you guys can feel free, but I think we've worn this tire past this limit. So I'd love to do another round with you. How about we do anyone who wants to, we can cover Buck Rogers next week if anyone wants to.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
Buck Rogers in the 20th. Steve, are you in?
Yeah, I should be. I'm moving to a new house next week, so
I'm walking here. I'm moving here.
Where are you moving to?
Lavalette.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm in
Lava
Yeah.
lamp.
Lava.
Lava.
Oh.
Which is
But-
by the shore.
Yeah, I'm in
She
Point.
sells
That is
houses
sweet.
by the shore.
That
Yeah.
is sweet, man. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you.
Bunny,
Guys,
it's
Yeah, that
been
sounds that sounds good. Even
Bunny,
even
it's
if
been
I-
great having you back.
Thank you. It was fun.
I hope
Had a
so.
lot of fun.
Welcome back anytime. Any other topic you want to talk about? Any other crazy ass actor? I'll let you guys know when we're gonna try and do Tommy Wiseau.
I'll be down for that.
Okay.
Oh,
me
hello,
too.
Mark. You're tearing me apart.
hi, Mark. You know what they say? Love is blind.
Love is blind. Look, I want you to play football with me in a wedding dress.
Love is blind. So is the cameraman when he shot this movie.
Oh, especially after seeing Tommy's ass. Jesus.
So yeah,
Gil, it was great to have you on here as well.
Thanks.
Gil, it was good to meet you and hear you finally.
I wish I could contribute more, but
That's all good. Just
Yeah.
let us know another
Hey.
topic you want to do. Let's do it.
okay.
And again, Steve, dynamite. It was great having your reactions.
Yeah, this is cool. This is definitely even the subjects I'm not too deep on. It's fun.
I hope they were entertaining. I worked overtime. It was like, what is the crazy ass story that no one talks about that I remember hearing on a podcast a year ago? Oh yeah, that dude. Oh, fucking Hollywood scumbags. Man. Oh,
Yeah, this one might need a sequel at some point.
oh yeah. Whenever you want, I'll let you guys pick the next list, and I'll come ready.
We'll be financing it. Don't worry.
That would be a great. Yeah, I'll actually get a buzzer next time. Like, who's line?
I mean, there is never a shortage of garbage people.
I know, but there's ones that wrote themselves. I didn't bother putting Trump and other idiots on here because why? The evidence is right in front of us. So it's like,
Well, there's a lot.
The wall's gonna be 10 feet higher.
There's something I've said about like people in Hollywood that are just despicable people, is that you look at them on the screen and you say to yourself, "Gee, they look great," and then when you meet them in real life, you're like, like you go, let me explain to you. We have something up here in New Jersey called Chiller, right?
Yes.
And sometimes you meet some great people. Sometimes you meet people that are just like,
Speaking of which, what's his name? Did the effects? Tom Savini.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you, dude. I want my $40 back.
Yeah.
He got
Great makeup artist. Jesus.
I went to meet him at Chiller, and I talked to him about the makeup he did for one of the movie. I forgot what movie he did.
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. And
Yeah.
he just looked at me like, "Yeah, you want to buy something from me?" I'm like,
Yeah,
"Dude,
just
no."
totally dismissive and just like I thought it was bad enough seeing other people walk by and almost run into me, like just very rudely. Like again, I'm not. If you're coming this way, I'll make room. But like this one, Tara Reid was rocking through a bunch of people, and it was just like, well, okay, there is manners. I don't give a shit how long you've been in the business. You can be polite and just say bye.
Well, she's from our our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wyckoff. Wyckoff.
Yeah. Yep.
Wyckoff.
All right, so garbage.
Watch it. No.
But Chiller, yeah,
I didn't
I've-
say you were garbage.
Yeah,
I'm saying-
Chiller. I've had a lot of good experience at Chiller, a few other horror conventions, but yeah, you definitely. There's been a couple times I met actors. I'm like, I kind of wish I didn't. I'm like, man,
Thomas
I kind of
Howell's
wish
still
he
my favorite.
could.
Thomas Howell was cracking me up. Just had so many hysterical stories about his stuntman dad and everything.
Well, my favorite of all time was meeting who was it? The guy who played the guy from the guy who played Phil.
Was it Brad Dourif?
No, Phil Latarda from The Sopranos.
Oh, Frank Vincent. Nice.
I met Frank Vincent. Holy shit, was that hilarious.
Go get your shine box.
Yeah, I told him, I said, I got my shine box. Can you sign it? And he started laughing hysterically. and then I met two seats down from him. I met the guy who played Commodore Menendez on Star Trek. He played Falseface on Batman.
Oh,
wow. Forgot his name. Thorne. Malachi Thorne. Malachi Thorne, right?
Wow.
And I said,
I've seen in Jose I. Mendez as Commodore Mendez.
It's Malachi Thorne, right? That was his name. He was on To Catch a Thief with Robert
Loach?
Robert Conrad.
Not
Robert
Urich. Not Robert.
That's right.
The one who was married to Natalie Wood.
Oh, Robert Wagner.
Robert Wagner.
Wagner.
He was on the first two seasons.
Oh, that's a great question. Robert Wagner, garbage or not?
We'll keep that for the next time. I think.
Okay.
I think he's number 2.
But the great thing was
he rocked the boat. Don't tip the boat over, baby.
I said to Malachi. I said to Malachi Thorne, I said, I know you were the voice of the bad guy in Hercules with Steve Reeves. He's like, how do you know? I said, because I could tell by your voice, and I've heard you speak before on other TV shows. He's like, yeah, I did that. You know how much I got paid for that? He's like, I was like, how much? $50. Because they had to dub a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Back then, so he was a guy you had to dub over, But he was really cool, And Robert Shallert, the guy who played Patty Duke's father, was really cool.
That's fucking amazing. All right.
Oh, he was. Well, I got a story another time to tell you about a certain one of the actresses I met from Willy Wonka.
Nice.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. Let's just say the words "Give me your phone number" was exchanged.
There you go.
Yeah. And it wasn't Veruca Salt.
Hey, great band, by the way.
Yeah. I'll tell you that story another time. It's just hilarious, It's just funny,
I have no doubt. You have always impressed. So, you guys, dynamite as always. Break on through to the other side. No chorus. All right.
Break on through. Break on through. Yeah.
Stronger than dirt.
Stronger than dirt. There's a mold to rise.
That's
awesome. Alrighty. Solely out.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up